Hello everyone, it is Mrs. P. I am here to do my budget check-in and my budget for the second week of April. Seems weird to say that when today is actually April 1st. Happy April, everyone. Today I had a lot of fun pranking the kids. I dressed like a middle schooler today, so that was super cool. They got a kick out of that. They all loved my socks, by the way. Anyway, I have had a pretty good week so far. We finished our book, The Outsider, so now we're watching the movie, and I have never seen kids so into a movie that I've shown in the classroom as they are this one. Like literally, at the end of the class period, I stopped the movie. We were about 45 minutes into it. They all started screaming, no, we've got 3 minutes left. Don't stop it here. And it was so cute. Okay. Anyway, that was that. I am going to give you my car update. And let's go ahead and just get started. I am happy to see April. I hope April comes with lots of sunshine and lots of good things for everyone. We are trying to get all of the sickness out of our lives. Still kids dropping with the stomach bug and all the things, but we do have spring break next week, so hopefully everybody will have time to get all of the germs away and everybody can come back healthy. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom you in and we'll get started. So Mr. P's income, I budgeted $950. It actually came in over 1,000 this week, barely, but it did. $1,217. My income came in right as expected, $3,291.27. And other, we got $149 this week. Let's see here. My father-in-law paid his phone payment. This was from my son. What else came in? Refund, maybe? I can't remember where all that... what all's in that? No, maybe that's all. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway. Oh, there was just like a little bit, like a $4 thing that I got from Kofi. That's what it was. All right, so then our income, I'm almost forgetting. So I pulled in from our emergency fund and wedding fund out of my high yield savings account. We did not budget for that. I knew it was coming. So I pulled in $3,000 that will need to be put back in because half of it was emergency fund, half of it came from wedding. I'm mostly worried about getting that emergency fund built back up because we'd already dipped into it a few times, but we will get there. All right, so our total income was $7,442.44. All right, so then our bills, we had Mr. P Hobby came in at $48.51. That was part of March's bill. So was the YouTube, $24.60. Farm Bureau our car insurance must have gone up a little bit. It was $168.46. Mortgage came out as expected, $11.40. And Microsoft came out for $21.39. So our total bills ended up being $1,402.96. leaving us with $6,039.48. Okay, then I'm going to move down to our sinking funds and savings. I took out exactly what I said I was going to take out, and that was $598, and it left us with, I'm looking at my draft, $5,441.48. All right, so then we go up to our variable expenses. I took out $140 for groceries, $20 for pets, $15 for household, $25 for Mr. P, $50 for me, $15 for Miss P. I took out the $100 for eating out for my mom's birthday, but I'm filming this on Tuesday and we're supposed to eat out tomorrow, but our soccer game got rescheduled from Monday to Wednesday, so we will have to eat out with Mom over the weekend. So that is, we still have the money. We haven't spent it. And then gas, I took out 70. Unbudgeted, I'm just going to say for my car repairs, it was not at quite 3,000, but it was very close. It was like 2970 something, or I don't know. It was not exactly 3,000, but that's what I pulled in. So $3,000 is what I'm saying. Maybe it was a little high, I don't know. It was very close to that. The car's running really good, so hopefully that fixes everything for the time being. I do not want to be stranded on the side of the road, and I do not want to pay for any more car repairs. But I was very happy to get my old car back. All right, so this section ended up being $3,435, leaving us with $2,006.48. What was left over from that, it was like $14 and something. I don't know. I'm putting just into the bills. All right, so then we've got truck. We paid $470. Wells Fargo, $75. This ended up being $545. And then leftover is $1,461.48. Snowball, I took out the $80, and that left $1,381.48. And that's what we'll roll over to our budget, which I'm getting ready to do. You will see that I budgeted $1,350 instead of $1,381, but I like to keep just like a little bit of a cushion in there, just because you never know when some bills are going to be a little higher. Verizon, just all those things, like you just never can tell. Netflix went up. Okay, so that is that. So I've already done everything else. Let's do our check-in with our categories for the variable expenses. And here's my little sticky. All right, let me zoom you back in. So for groceries, this is for April 2025. So for groceries, I got groceries on the 30th at Walmart, and I spent $109. I got pet supplies at Walmart on the same day, and I spent $37. I needed kitty litter and things like that, which kitty litter we had been purchasing from Amazon, but I canceled my Amazon Prime membership, so I'm just going to buy it at Walmart. All right, so then household, I spent $5 at Walmart. I needed cotton balls. Cotton balls, and what else did I get? I can't remember. I don't know why I always forget the things I get for household. I'm trying to remember what section of the store I was in. Eating out, I feel like it was something for hair, but maybe not. I don't remember. All right, eating out, we did not eat out. I mean, we did actually eat out with my parents, or it's actually just me and my daughter. We ate out to celebrate my brother's award that he got at school. He got CTE, Teacher of the Year. That's for computer science. And my dad paid for it. I tried to use my blow money to pay for it, but if you saw my video yesterday, my mini Monday, I showed a picture of the to-go box with the money inside the to-go box. He snuck that in there, and I did not know it was in there until the next day when I was going to eat the leftovers. All right, so gas, we got gas twice. I filled the truck up before I took it back and left it at my father-in-law's house, and I spent $45. And then I got my car and filled it up on the 30th and at Walmart, and I spent $35 on my car. And it's still got well over 3/4 of a tank, so that should last us pretty good. And unbudgeted for the car repair, that was on the 28th. I guess I'll just put Ford. And I wish I had written down the exact amount, but I'm just putting $3,000. All right, friends, that is my check-in. Now we are going to go and budget our second week of April. And let's see here. Let me find my next budget sheet. And it is right here, sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and put the dates down. It is going to be April 3rd through the 9th. All right, so we've got rollover, and I just did $13.50. Mr. P, $9.50, and other. We're not expecting anything else, so this will be $2,300. All right, so for bills, we've got Google that we're paying this week for $3. Title, $22. That's some kind of a program that my husband uses with his DJ stuff. Car wash, which he's getting a lot of requests for weddings for the summer. He's going to be busy this summer. All right, $40 for that. Life 360, $9. And Mr. P Hobby, $61. And so our bills total $135, leaving us with $21.65. All right, then I'm going to go down to our sinking funds and savings. I always sinking funds. I am not as sleepy today as I was yesterday. Yesterday, I wanted to film this video when I got home. This is not wanting to come out. And I literally got home from like my daughter's practice and everything around, I don't know, 6:30, I guess. And I put my pajamas on and literally got straight in the bed. Now, I will tell you that I finished the book that I've been reading. It's called The Fall of Marigolds, and I'm going to put a picture right here because that was absolutely a phenomenal book. I loved it so much. It's kind of like goes back and forth from the kind of current day, present day, to the past, and it just goes back and forth, and then it like intertwines the characters. It's so good. All right, so our sinking funds and savings total $579, and that leaves with $15.86. All right, and I'm going to go up to my variables. I'm going to go ahead and write all of these down because you guys know by now. The only thing I changed was groceries and household for this month. But I was going to ask you guys if you have any book recommendations. I am typically a very much, I can't talk and write at the same time. That's why I struggle at school when I'm writing on my whiteboard, because I'm talking to the kids and they're like, Miss P, you spelled that wrong. You forgot this word, or you put the wrong word, or whatever. But anyway, I like historical fiction, and so I'm looking for books like that. I've read all of like Kristen Hanna's, and I can't even think of the authors right here off the top of my head, but those are typically the type of books that I like. But I do like to mix it in with a little bit of like thriller, suspense novels. I'm going to put nothing for eating out, even though we'll be eating out for my mom's birthday. We've already got the money. Gas, 70, and unbudgeted. I can't talk and write at the same time. So I apologize. All right. So this section is $330, and that leaves us with $1,256. We have nothing for debt, so I'm not going to even write anything in that box. We are going to pull for the snowball. Because we did have extra income come in, I am going to pull $100 to go towards debt this week. So that will leave $1,156 to roll over to the next week, and that leaves us with that zero-based budget. which is really not how I mean, it's still in the account, but it's got a job just to sit there and wait until it's needed. All right, so that's our budget for the second week, and now we need to do our cash plan. I wish I could talk to you guys while I did this, but I mean, I can talk about what I'm doing. I just can't talk about life. It's just not easy. All right, let me go ahead and zoom you in. I'm going to go ahead and put the category totals here for the first section since we already know all of this. It really doesn't change a whole lot each month. And, you know, it used to be that we did change these amounts, trying to find the amounts that worked for our family. And we've kind of finally hit that. And so we're just going to kind of stick with that. Now, groceries, I could technically probably go down on groceries even more. But I do like to have money in the Sam's envelope. So the leftover grocery money goes to the Sam's envelope. And then about once every few months, we'll go to Sam's and stock up on meat and stuff. So and that's what our plan is for this weekend. And you'll see that in my meal plan. So anyway, for groceries, I'm going to put 7 20s, 1 20 for pets, a 10 and a 5 for household, a 20 and a 5 for Mr. P, 2 20s and a 5 for me, a 10 and a 5 for Miss P, and gas, 3 20s and 2 5s this week. All right, then we go down to our sinking funds that are more revolving, that we use more frequently. Beauty this week is going to get 15, medical 20, sports is going to get 30, pool supplies 10, and nothing for garbage. And so let's see here, a 10 and a 5, a 20 and a 10, and a 10. All right, then our more long-term sinking funds, subscriptions, nothing for propane, 5 for school supplies, 15 for vet, 10 for car tags, 25 for car maintenance, and 30 for home maintenance. All right, so that's going to be a 5, a 10, a 5, a 10, a 20 and a 5, and a 20 and a 10. All right, now my favorite section, where we get to play. All right, so debt's going to get 100 this week. That's going to be 120, 4 10s, 6 5s, and 10 1s. 50 for randomizer. It's going to get 2 10s, 5 5s, 5 1s. Senior year gets 10. Vacation gets 30, which is going to be a 20 and a 10. Health savings gets 24 this week because we save the dollar amount of the date for the Friday, which is the 4th, and then $20 above that for our savings challenge box from Hey K Budgets, which is the weight loss box. All right, so that's going to be, let me find it on my 3 5s and 9 1s. All right, summer savings gets 80, which is going to be a 20, 3 10s, 5 5s, and 5 1s. Christmas gets 50. That's going to be 2 10s, 5 5s, and 5 1s. Wedding gets 20, which is going to be a 5 and 15 1s. Emergency fund gets 100 this week, which is going to be 2 20s, 3 10s, 5 5s, and 5 1s. Money Monday gets 30, which is 6 5s, and YouTube Hop gets $20, which is 20 1s. Okay, so that is our categories. That is all of our denominations. So now I need to write all of that here. So we've got 23 20s, which is 460. We've got 24 10s, which is 240. We have 47 10s, which is, or 5s, which is 235. And we've got 74 1s, which is $74. And if you add all of that up, you get $1,009. And that is what we will get from the bank. And we will do our cash stuffing. We have a game Wednesday and Thursday. So I'm not sure when that video will get filmed. If I'm not super tired, I'll do it probably Wednesday night if I can get the money from the bank. All right, so now I need to do my meal plan. And my meal plan is not anything fancy or spectacular. We are in a busy season of life, so therefore we do what we can do. And there's a lot of nights where sometimes I'm like, sorry, I had to get adjusted in my chair. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I can't even like do this. Like, I can't cook. What do you want? A sandwich, a grilled cheese, soup, you know, just something like that. Thankfully, we have like lunch stuff that we get every week for my daughter, and we can always have that as a dinner, you know, at home. All right, so this is going to be for 3 through the 9th. Okay, so Thursday. Starting off Thursday, we do have a home ball game, home soccer, but we are going to have chicken sandwiches, and I never did decide on a side for that. Let me zoom in, I'm sorry. For the chicken sandwiches, what do I want to do? I may just throw some chips on the plate. So chicken sandwiches and chips. If we get home early enough, we might make like homemade fries or something. All right, so for this one, I need to get chicken patties because we are out. And buns. And chips. Like, chips is a staple. Like, that's something that goes in the buggy every week. All right, Friday, we're going to do French bread pizza. We haven't done that in a while. So, French bread pizza. So, for that, I'm going to get some French bread. Some pizza sauce. And pepperoni. We are out of pepperoni. I do have mozzarella cheese, so I don't need any cheese. All right, then for Sunday or Saturday is going to be eat out for Mom's birthday. And Sunday is going to be day date. We have money in our date night envelope, and we're going to go to Sam's. We have found a really good like chicken wing place at where we go to Sam's, and it is so yummy. We've eaten there twice now, and so this will be our 3rd time, and we cannot wait. We're looking forward to it. And that is something about not eating out all the time, is that you actually start like looking forward to doing things like that, because it's not something you do all the time. It's something special. So that's what I like about, you know, trying to not eat out twice a week or whatever. We used to probably eat out 3 or 4 times a week and waste a lot of food at home, because I would still grocery shop, but then it would get wasted. All right, so then Monday, I'm going to make chicken casserole. We will be home for spring break, so I will have plenty of time to cook, and I want to make chicken casserole. I like to have green beans with that, and I'll fix some corn. So for this meal, I have chicken. I will have chicken. We are going to Sam's. I have all the soups and all the stuff to make the casserole. I have green beans and I have corn, so I need nothing for this meal. All right, Tuesday, we're going to do beef burritos and some Mexican rice. We will have the beef because we're going to Sam's. We will have everything we need, black beans. We have the rice. I do need to get some flour tortillas. I might get those at Sam's, but I'm just going to go ahead and put them on the list just in case. All right, then on Wednesday, we are going to do shake and bake pork chops. We haven't had that in a while. And we're going to have broccoli and mac and cheese. Okay, so for this meal, we will get the pork loin from Sam's. So we will slice that up into pork chops, so I don't need anything there. I do need to get some shake and bake mix. I usually get the Great Value kind because it's like half the price, but the shake and bake brand is a lot better, if I'm going to be honest. And I need to get some broccoli. And I have mac and cheese. So that is our meal for the second week of April. And yeah, it's pretty simple. But yay that I'm getting to go to Sam's. I absolutely love Sam's. I've always joked around that if I ever won the lottery, which I don't even play the lottery, so that's probably never going to happen. But if I ever came into a big lump sum of money, the first store I would go to is Sam's and just have like this huge shopping spree. And it would just make my heart so happy. I just love to grocery shop. That has been one of the hardest habits that I broke, was overspending at the grocery store. I mean, technically I could probably still cut off of the grocery budget, but I'm not one that buys fancy clothes. I don't buy shoes. I rarely, like, things that I buy, when I buy them, they last a long time. I don't feel the need to update my wardrobe every year or purchase shoes before they're expired and there's no life left in them. That's just not who I am. I will keep a purse until it absolutely falls apart and looks disgusting, and it doesn't bother me one bit. But in the grocery store, with all the possibilities of food, it just makes me so excited. I love it so much. All right, friends. That is all I have for today. I appreciate you guys watching and supporting me. I promise next week when I am home, I'm going to get more stuff in my Etsy shop, more freebies up, and I'm going to respond to all of the comments because I'm very slack on that. And I apologize with all of my heart, and I'm so sorry, but I'm just so busy. And when I do have a minute, it's like I need to film a video or clean the house or wash a soccer uniform or something like that. So I just in that busy season right now. All right, here's Nick. This candle is just hanging in there, still smelling yummy. It does have a lot of like wick debris in there, but that's okay. All right, friends, you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.